Hi there. Today I want to talk about how do we program our music apps in our iPads when we're controlling our arrangers. In this case, I have an OnSong music app on my iPad, and I have an Ketron SD90 arranger. And I have a dongle plugged in to my MIDI in, MIDI out on the back panel on the back side of my SD90, which is communicating to my iPad. We know that, and we're controlling our arranger automatically through the iPad. So in my case, in OnSong, there's a little window. You can see it on your right. It's called MIDI event. Type is always going to be program. Channel for me is always going to be 16. I'm referring in this exercise to the number under program. In this case, 86. Totally disregard the instrument to the right of 86. We're only concentrating on the number. And below that, Bank MSB, in this case 0, and Bank LSB 0. Well, Bank LSB 0 is going to always be the same. Now, as I'm programming this on my OnSong, the registration that I want to select is going to be under the program. So that 86 means that I'm picking registration 86. I'm changing to registration 86. And Bank MSB, this is what I want to concentrate on today. Bank MSB 0. If you refer to my chart on the left, you'll see on the top column SD, could be a 40, a 9, a 90, whatever. But you'll see the banks. And this refers to on my SD90. On the right, you'll see bank 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each bank has a maximum capacity of 1,024 registrations in each bank. Okay? So that's what Bank MSB is referring to, 1 to 128. And the chart to the left, again, you'll see in Bank 1, MSB 1. So what if I have a song over 128? How do I program that? Because that program number, 86 in this case, on OnSong, that section program, it only goes up to 128. So I want to program registration 129. What do? Well, I simply change the bank MSB from 0 to 1, and I go to the second line on the chart to the left, MSB 1, and you see I can program in the next group of 128 songs. If I wanted to program 129, for example, on the last column you'll see minus a number. So if I want to program 129, I subtract 128 from it, and I get 1, and that's the number I put into the program section on MIDI event. Okay? And I go through, so if you had a registration numbered between 257 or greater than 256, let's say, on your, so if I had a program 257, let's say, so 257. If I wanted to find a number to put into the OnSong, I would take that number 257. Actually, I went a little too far. I went to the third line, so that's okay. So 257 would be MSB2, you see in the third line on the left, and I would subtract 256 from 257, and that would give me a 1. So I go back to my OnSong. The program would be number 1 instead of 86, and the bank MSB would be 2 instead of 0. Okay? Now let's say I had some songs in bank 2 or bank 3 or bank 4 of my SD90. No problem. For the first 128, I go to my chart on the left, and I go to the next group that says bank 2, and for songs 1 to 128, I would program on the bottom MSB 8. Okay? Bank MSB 8, I would pick 1, 2, 3, whatever song I had. In this case, it's 77. Well, that's between 1 and 128, so I could still use Bank MSB 8, and I would put in 77 in as the program number. And for MSB, I would use MSB 8 instead of 0. And so on and so forth. I think it's pretty self-explanatory once you start understanding it. Hope this helps. I know it's not for everybody, but for those of you who are thinking down the road, or you might want to use the different banks of your registration for whatever reason, and you are programming with your iPad, this is some useful information. Thanks for watching.